So last night I watched The Fast and the Furious, the original from 2001, for the first time. I don't know what I saw. Welcome to Pop Culture Fridays. I'm Troy. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and like. So last night I watched The Fast and the Furious for the first time. That happens a lot to me where I've missed some sort of pop culture things from a long time ago. I've got a lot of gaps to fill, I guess. And, sometimes my instincts are correct and sometimes they're not. I don't know where they are anymore. The one thing I want to be careful of is whenever I see something, I have a tendency to rush to judgment. Maybe that's common. I don't know. But many times I've seen things for the first time. Like I saw The Hangover at Cinemagic in Portland, Oregon, and I fucking hated it. I almost walked out. And then I watched it like a year and a half, 2 years ago, and I actually kind of liked it. I thought it was funny. For The Fast and the Furious, I don't know what to think, because my instincts tell me that it was absolutely terrible. And, I did some research and watched to see, after I watched the film, to see what other people had thought, listening to podcasts or listening to reviews. And one of the things that I found that was common was people talking about how awesome it was, and then the rest of the review was pretty much trashing the whole movie, like acting or how ridiculous the plot was or how unbelievable the story was, with the exception of, I can't remember her name. She was on Lost. She's really good. They're all beautiful, but not the one that Paul, whatever his name is with, but Vin Diesel's Toretto, his sister. Anyway, not her, but the other dark-haired person in the gang, in the team. She's a good actor, but it just seemed like a lot of people were trashing it. So I don't know if people are saying it's awesome because it's so good, or is it awesome because, we like to laugh at this film. It's terrible. I mean, if I had to give an initial reaction, and I guess that I should since I'm doing a podcast episode about it, I would say it was pretty terrible. I just don't feel like anybody... I mean, I'm not an actor, and I'm sure it's tough, but it seemed like nobody else could act either. How did Vin Diesel get so popular? I have no idea. I heard some pretty brutal interviews with him about a later Fast and the Furious. I guess there are 8 of these. I guess The Rock was in them, and I like The Rock, I think. But Vin Diesel and The Rock apparently fight, and he was giving an interview about how he said it was an event for cinema. But just the way that he was talking, I'm sure he's a nice guy, and I'm positive he would kick my ass if he ever came across me and wanted to. And I'm not saying he's a bad person. I'm just saying that I wasn't convinced by the performances. Like, I know it's not that type of film, and I tend to trash films that I shouldn't because I'm a film snob, and I don't mean to be. It's not something I set out to be. Like, so what if I have the Criterion Collection logo tattooed on my chest? So what? Who cares? But I definitely don't see things correctly the first time. So maybe in subsequent viewings, if I keep going and watching the other 7, it's possible. But I'm completely willing to say or admit that I'm wrong about this. I will say this: I feel like it's got to be difficult to there's a lot of action, obviously, a lot of driving action, and it's got to be difficult to be a director. Like, the shots, if you look at the exchanges, it'll be like a picture of somebody shifting, their hand shifting, and then it'll go to the car speeding down the road, and then it'll go to the person driving, and they'll be doing this, and then it just keeps like bouncing back and forth. And the ability to create that excitement or tension is like such a skill. And I do love action films, and dramas as well. But apart from that, I didn't really get pulled into the story. Maybe it's because, it's kind of the typical cop. Spoiler alert! 19 years later. But, a guy becomes a cop and he infiltrates a gang or a team or whatever because they want to crack down on them or somebody else, and it's kind of Donnie Brasco a little bit. It's been done, but it doesn't mean it can't be entertaining. I'm not going to say that it was terrible. I guess I don't know what to think of it. Like, there was a scene at the end when Vin Diesel and I think his name's Paul Walker, but I'm not sure. You can just comment below. I know he's the one who passed away, so I don't mean to speak ill of. I'm not speaking ill of him personally. But there's a scene where he and Vin Diesel are racing each other, and just before they both jump over the tracks before the train hits them, like they're both driving like this, and it starts to go in slow motion, and I'm just like, this is the exact reaction that I had when that happened in slow motion. I just had to look around and say, is anybody seeing this? I don't understand what's happening right now. Now, listen, it could be that it's so beyond me that I'm just stupid and I can't understand it, or that I'm not able to have any fun, which is probably true. And I can't sort of let my hair down, which I can't do anyway. Just don't hold it against me for not letting my hair down. Come on. So, whatever. But I don't know. I don't have a good ranking system. A good friend and I came up with a 10-star system because it's 4 stars. Like, what are you going to do? Every movie's a 2-star. So when you have a 10-star system, if I had to give this one anything, I'd give it a 5. Just for a frame of reference, like 2001: A Space Odyssey is like a 9.8. Interstellar's a 9.1. And I'd give Fast and the Furious a 5 because I'm feeling generous. Oh man, they're gonna beat me up if they ever see me. One of the things that I would have to get used to if I saw it again, and I might like it more, is that it's sort of like Spring Breakers, Harmony Korine's film, or the movie with it's Shia LaBeouf, and they're in the van trying to sell door-to-door Bibles or something. It's fairly recent. I think Catherine Bigelow might have directed that. Maybe, I'm not sure. Anyway, when I'm watching a movie where the characters are all people that aren't people I would hang out with, or that make me uncomfortable because my spidey sense walking into the room says like this room is trouble, like, and I would just like get out. It's hard for me to watch a movie with those same characters because in real life I wouldn't stay in the same room. Like if I was walking down the road with my Trader Joe's grocery bag and I saw a bunch of people lining up to do drag racing, like it's the underground Dream Cruise event of the year, I saw that, I would turn right around and walk back the other way, even if it was like miles out of the way. I wouldn't walk through there. So that could be one of the reasons why I didn't connect with it. But I don't know. Maybe I'll go on and see some more. I'm sure it's fun. I tend to. I really went hard after the Marvel movies and all that stuff. I saw one of the Avengers films with someone, and their review was, how many times can I see a guy get thrown through a wall? And that's kind of, I think that's a pretty accurate thing. But, some people get into it. I'd be willing, if I saw this with someone else, maybe they would be into it. They'd be like, all right, when somebody peels out, I'm like, oh, this is kind of fun. Let me get a little higher or drink another beer or whatever. But right now I would say, I don't know. I'd say I don't feel necessarily any better for watching it, but maybe it's me. All right, that's all I got for you this week. You can follow at Culture Fridays on Twitter, at Pop Culture Fridays on Instagram. thisiswhereyouare.com is the website you can go to. We've got some new artwork up there. Just about to hit the road again. Head back to Detroit for a little bit. And beyond that, who knows? Still the pandy 2020. And just got to be safe, kids. Be safe, and I'll see you next week.